Hi there, guys. Welcome back to our channel. This is Bill We Take the Bill, where we take the Bill of Rights, pull it to our chest, and hold it dear to our hearts. Okay, I was watching one of my guys that I subscribe to earlier this morning. That was from yesterday, actually. It's Kevin 24/7, the husband of Squirrel Tribe. Shout out to you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and just play the video so that you can see um, what's going on. It's about Social Security, so um, let's go ahead and get started. And they can explain it the best, so I'm going to let them talk. If I find a point that I want to um, interrupt and say something, then I will. But let's just go ahead and hear what we're doing.
Any delay in Social Security caused by this change can mean economic hardship.
A federal judge has temporarily blocked the Department of Government Efficiency from accessing sensitive Social Security records. The judge who made this order wrote, quote, "The DOJ team is essentially engaged in a fishing expedition at the Social Security Administration."
They only have two windows open in there. She can't talk to anybody without an appointment.
Part of the confusion and concern that has been unleashed ever since word broke that the Social Security Administration will soon require in-person identity checks.
In search, it said, of a fraud epidemic based on little more than suspicion. This filing comes ahead of what are planned to be significant changes for Social Security recipients and how they interact with the administration, that is, the Social Security.
The Social Security Administration is now saying that they are requiring in-person checks to verify your identity. Now, this has millions of people extremely upset. This has many Social Security groups panicking. What are they going to do next? I want to break this down because some are saying this is just the beginning, and we are about to see 72 million Americans have to go through an in-person identity check. I want to break down why they're doing this, what this could mean for the future of Social Security, but why this could actually extend the insolvency date.
So let's talk about extending the insolvency date, and more importantly, what the insolvency date is. The insolvency date is the day the government has marked on their calendars when funds will run out and the money millions count on will be depleted and or reduced. The current projected insolvency date for Social Security based on the latest available data is 2035. And this is when the combined old age and survivors insurance, OASI, and disability insurance, DI trust funds are expected to be depleted, according to the 2024 Social Security Trustees report. Without legislative changes, the program will be able to only pay out 83% of scheduled benefits using ongoing tax revenue. So essentially, take how much you make now, and it's going to be 17% less than that.
Excuse me.
And the OASI trust fund alone is projected to be depleted earlier in 2033, at which point it could pay about 79% of scheduled benefits, so that would be a 21% reduction. Think about that. The DI Trust Fund, however, is expected to remain solvent through at least the year 2098, the end of the 75-year projection period, and these dates reflect the latest estimates as of today and are subject to change with future economic conditions or policy actions. And if you're wondering if the insolvency date will hurt SSI and SSDI recipients, then listen to this. The projected insolvency date for Social Security, specifically the combined old age and survivors insurance, OASI, and disability insurance, DI trust funds known as OASDI, is 2035. This date reflects when these funds are expected to run out, leaving only enough ongoing tax revenue to pay about 83% of scheduled benefits, according to the 2024 Social Security Trustees report. And for retirees and survivors covered under OASI, the trust fund is projected to be depleted earlier in 2033, after which it could pay about 79% of benefits. In contrast, the DI trust fund, which supports SSDI beneficiaries with disabilities, is expected to remain solvent through at least the year 2098, well beyond the near-term concerns. Supplemental Security Income, SSI, however, is not part of these projections. Unlike OASDI, which relies on dedicated payroll taxes and trust funds, SSI is funded through general federal revenues and depends on annual congressional appropriations. Therefore, it doesn't face a trust fund depletion date, and the combined 2035 insolvency date encompasses both retirees under OASI and disabled workers under SSDI, but the earlier 2033 date highlights the more immediate challenge for the retirement and survivors portion of Social Security, tempered by DI's stronger outlook.
So over the past several weeks, we have seen many changes to Social Security. I've talked about the potential changes. I've also given you guys updates on the changes as they are occurring. We do know there's many things that are going on, but I want to be very clear. Okay, the acting Social Security Administration Commissioner knows they're going to make mistakes. So look at this. So the Social Security chief says he will continue to make mistakes, but vows to learn from them. This report that just came out is another one of those potential learning mistakes. Listen to this. Okay, look at this right here. It says Social Security Administration to require in-person identity checks for new and existing recipients. Now, why? Why are they doing this, and what does this mean for the 72 million people? Well,
all right, in-person identity checks. Why are they doing this? Well, it's simple. Think of it like this. Elon Musk tells federal employees on a Friday to reply to an email by Monday, PM, end of day, or else their lack of response will automatically be taken as their resignation. And it's to weed out the people who don't actually work there. DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, has already deleted more than 3.2 million names out of the Social Security record system of people over the age of 120 years old. And why did they do this? To eliminate waste. So think of it like that. Verify your identity. However, the lack of response or lack of identity verification will be taken as a forfeiture and immediate cancellation or termination of benefits, maybe. And this is for good reason, especially based on this one alarming stat alone. All right, so let me ask you guys, do you know how many people collect Social Security? I'm not saying like you yourself, but in general, like the total number, okay? As of the most recent data available in 2024 from the Social Security Administration, the SSA, approximately 71.6 million people in the United States receive Social Security benefits each month. This figure includes various types of beneficiaries, such as retired workers, disabled workers, survivors, and dependents. Specifically, around 64.2 million receive benefits solely from the old age survivors and disability insurance OASDI program. About 4.9 million receive supplemental security income SSI only. Approximately 2.5 million receive payments from both OASDI and SSI programs, and these numbers reflect the total beneficiaries across all SSA administered programs as of 2024. With slight variations month to month. For the most current monthly breakdown, the SSA typically updates its stats periodically, but as of March 20, 2025, this is the latest comprehensive annual figure available. Now, an even better question would be, what is a third of 1% of all of these people? Well, a third of 1% of nearly 72 million people is approximately 238,667 people. That's a lot of freaking people.
That is.
Draining a diminishing trust fund account dry and expected to hit insolvency soon. So tell me, do you think identity verification is important?
Yes.
Especially if you rely on Social Security and are panicking and in fear of it running out?
Let's get right down to it. I want to read this to you. It says, in an effort to limit fraudulent claims, that's the key. It says the Social Security Administration will impose tighter identity proofing measures, which will require millions of recipients and applicants to visit agency field offices rather than interact with the agency over the phone. Keep this in mind as well. Right now, there are thousands of Social Security workers being let go. There's also multiple field offices getting closed down.
Thousands of lazy government workers getting let go, laid off, terminated, provided severance, and DOGE is cleaning house. And let me remind you, Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion when it was worth half of that. He cut 80% of the workforce that was not doing anything useful, unwavering against angry cries. He used the data to create XAI, which is now valued at $75 billion. X is now sustainably profitable for the first time, raising money recently at a $44 billion valuation, but this time it's actually worth that and has a 25% stake in XAI. And let me read the rest of this post to you from Holmar's catalog, and it says, through this acquisition, he unseated the President of the United States of America. He changed the lives of ex-creators by introducing revenue share. Everyone laughed at him, mocked him, and attacked him for this acquisition. Look how it turned out so far. Now he wants to apply this formula to the federal government, and you fucking idiots want to murder him? You want to kill America's leading clean energy and technology company? You prefer the status quo of multi-trillion-dollar deficits? You prefer spending more on interest on the national debt than we do on our national defense?
These people are
The
crazy.
federal government ran fine in the past without multi-trillion-dollar deficits, right? And we used to actually have a budget surplus. How did something that Democrats used to support under Obama and Clinton turn into something that makes Democrats want to start a terror campaign? Jesus Christ, how fucking stupid are we as a country? He asks.
Yep.
And this is why we can't have nice things, he says. God bless the DOGE team for trying to do what's right for our children and grandchildren in the face of so much hatred.
So the last thing we really want is people going into the office, which are closing down, and calling, which require a person to answer the phone. What the Social Security Administration would prefer is everybody just does all the identity proofing measures over the app. Okay? Here's where things are actually starting to get really interesting and where it's going to make it more difficult for millions of people. Look at this. It says beginning March 31st, so in just 12 days, people will no longer be able to verify their identity to the Social Security Administration over the phone. And those who cannot properly verify their identity over the agency's My Social Security online service will be required to visit the agency field office in person to complete the verification process.
And March 31st is only 9 days away, folks. And starting April 1st, April 1, this will not be an April Fool's joke either. So this needs to be taken seriously.
Okay. It says this change will apply to new Social Security applicants and existing recipients who want to change their direct deposit information. Okay. Here's where things are getting interesting. So this says this is only going to apply to new Social Security applicants, which as of right now there's more than 10,000 people, 10,000 baby boomers that are becoming eligible for Social Security every single day. Every one of them has to go to a field office. Okay, they need an in-person check. Okay, again, this is going to be a big blow. Right now, again, here's where things are getting really interesting though. According to reports, the Social Security Administration would like to see how this works, and before they let go of these thousands of employees and shut down the additional field offices, what they would prefer is to try to get all 72 million people into the office, do an in-person check-in, okay? Do some type of verification, the in-person verification, because what they are saying right now is that the Social Security Administration has lost billions of dollars per year as a result of fraud and overpayments. This right here, requiring people to go into a field office, could actually prevent fraud.
It's a scam. This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. With $35 trillion in debt, we don't have any money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. We are in huge trouble. And in this body, we had better start figuring that out, because we're going to have a run on the city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up and saying, where's our damn money that we paid in? I could have put my Social Security money 4 years intact in the market and probably be worth 8 to 10 million today. But the federal government wasted it.
As far as overpayments, it's probably not going to do a thing, but the Social Security Administration is working on that. But the fraud, according to reports, they indicate that the Social Security Administration has likely given away more than $1 trillion in improper payments in its lifetime. More than $1 trillion in improper payments. That means fraud payments, overpayments, right? Errors. They're just giving money away.
No one's ever been fired, ever, for sending money to the wrong place.
Ain't that ridiculous?
People send it on purpose. I'm not saying everybody sends it on purpose. I'm saying there are some people who send it on purpose, some people who are complete morons, and an enormous number of people who work for the government who are awesome. I mean, amazing people, right? But what percentage? Okay, if there's 5.9 million people who work for the government, you're like, wow, that's like so many, and we're paying them all. And how many do you really need? I mean, if the answer is 2 million, wow. And then we can talk about how we understand it and how we're going to retrain society for the AI industrial revolution is coming, which is going to create the greatest set of jobs and the greatest set of growth ever. Okay, but then and we can talk about that. Yeah. But the key is stop sending money to the wrong place so we can make sure we can always defend sending money to the right place. I would never allow, if I can stand it, to not pay somebody who retired at 65 their benefits. I find it disgusting when we're the richest country in the world and some politician says, in order to save Social Security, rather than getting rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse, we should move it to 70. Yeah. How about no? How about we're rich enough to give people the benefit of the bargain of being a great American? But let's put great people in charge.
That's really well said.
But that report also indicates that this is what has put Social Security under so much pressure and puts it on the doorstep of insolvency is because they have just given money away and not really went after it once they realized, oh, this is what we did. Now, I'm going to give you. Says the American advocates, they warn that the change will make things happen for Americans in the rural areas and in the will, including those with disabilities and mobile limitations, which it will. Those are the powerful Social Security office and have limited internet access. It's going to impact all these people. It is going to impact every single one of you. Okay? Now, why? It's simply an anti-fraud measure. According to multiple people, they say it's an anti-fraud measure. That's all it is. Okay?
Really?
Now, yes. Could you identify your identity over the agency's My Social Security online service? Yes. You could do that. Some people can't. But here's the thing. Even those that can use the My Social Security online service, okay, great. If you can use it, but if there's any inclination that there may be fraud, they're going to require you to come in. This is where multiple sources are saying that this is their ultimate goal, is to get every single person, 72 million people, into the Social Security office to prove their identity. Because they believe right now there are millions of fraudulent claims that are going out every single month.
So in person is better.
They don't realize who it is and how long they've been taking advantage of the system.
I've been fighting fake news reporters all day long here in the Washington, D.C. swamp who are trying to fearmonger the American people into believing that this administration is going after their hard-earned tax dollars and their hard-earned Social Security checks. So I want to set the record straight on your show tonight, Sean, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do so. President Trump has directed Elon Musk and the Doge team to identify fraud at the Social Security Administration. They haven't dug into the books yet, but they suspect that there are tens of millions of deceased people who are receiving fraudulent Social Security payments. And so their goal in going into the Social Security Administration is to identify three things. Number one, to identify duplicate payments and to end them. Number two, to identify payments that are going to deceased people who are no longer living and should no longer be receiving that money. And number three, to protect the integrity of the system for hardworking Americans who have been paying into it their entire lives. So rest assured to all of the people watching your show tonight, if you paid into the system honestly, you will continue to receive your Social Security checks. Do not buy into the lies from the legacy fake news media who are trying to fear you and scare you into believing otherwise. This is what we've seen them do about President Trump for years with every promise that he has made. And he's going in there to protect your hard-earned money. That is the ultimate goal.
But keep this in mind. The reason why they're going after this is because they know that the Social Security Trust Fund will become insolvent in the next 8 to 9 years. By 2034, it is what the expectation is, but it could be sooner. Here's the good thing. If they find that there's 10,000 people, a million people, I don't know the numbers, but if there are multiple people that are claiming benefits that are fraudulent, they're going to shut it down for one. That's going to save the Social Security Administration money, but they're also going to go after those that have been claiming these benefits for however long. This would put more of the money back into the Social Security Trust Fund, which means the insolvency date could be pushed back, which means that gives the current administration or future administrations more time to work on a really reform Social Security.
Has Treasury really not looked at, okay, we're already charging $4.9 trillion for the
This is
deficit, for
ridiculous.
Medicare, for a lot of other things, and now we got to add social, but we haven't done the math to figure out how much that tax rate has to
The
be.
president doesn't have a plan. He has principles. He wants to work with Congress to find a way to protect Social Security and extend its solvency beyond
If the president wishes
2034.
and he doesn't have a plan, Madam Secretary, how could he justify not having a plan when he's been in office for 3 years already?
He believes it's important to work with Congress and not
Madam Secretary, he has not worked with us at all. On this Senate Finance Committee.
So we're going to see what happens there. Okay, that's the big news as of today. Here's the other one. Okay, what do you do if Social Security says and then lists you as deceased? Well, if it's incorrectly marked as deceased and you're not, well, there's things that you need to do. First, you need to contact the Social Security Administration, let them know, hey, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Okay, you haven't sent me a check, but obviously I'm marked as deceased. Okay, what they're doing right now, and I talked about this just the other day, I said that the Department of Government Efficiency was pressing the Social Security Administration to go in and mark those that are over the age of 120 years old, mark them as deceased. It was just pretty much that it's all they got, they're too old, no payments. But they want to ensure that everything is done correctly. According to the Social Security Administration, they said it was going to cost about $9 million to update the system, and go in and update all the people, and maybe it does, I don't know. But that's what the Department of Government Efficiency says, is, you know what, we have to do it. It's one of those things, we have to do it, because we need to know who is actually living and who is not. So if you're marked as deceased, call the Social Security Administration as soon as possible. Let them know, hey, I'm still alive. Yes, they may require an identity check, but again, you can do it on my Social Security online service. Okay, there's other things you can do. Here's the other one. They may start doing kind of like a Zoom call, where they check your identity over an online meeting. Okay, so there's definitely different things that they're considering right now to make this a little more efficient, but they do, according to multiple sources, eventually want to go and identify and check the 72 million people receiving benefits. So I don't know exactly how this is going to work, how quickly this could play out, but according to multiple sources, that is the end goal. To see the Social Security Administration go and check each and every person that is receiving benefits. So I'm going to get more information on this, I promise. I'll bring you all the latest news and updates. That's what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching, and subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Tie your political agenda and a certain ugly
My
kind of
God.
politics in this country.
This woman needs to
And
go.
that is lying to and screwing over working and middle-class Americans so that they can steal their health care, Social Security, and veterans benefits in order to pay for their tax cuts for the billionaires and bailouts for their crypto friends. Kind of word for this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's called stupidity. Well, guys, what do you think? This whole thing with Social Security, I've been waiting for over 2 years now, on an answer of getting my Social Security. I am a disabled vet. Yes, I do receive benefits, but, I'm waiting for, my SSDI that I was told I was eligible for, but got denied already twice, and we put in another thing. Now I've been waiting for years for this to happen, and there's nothing that's happened so far. Um, I can only cross my fingers and see what happens along the way. I just wanted to keep you guys informed. Um, please like, share, and subscribe. I could use all the subscribers that I can get. I'm trying to make so that I can do live shows. Because I think live shows are a little bit better than just recording. It would be a lot easier for me, to tell you the truth, is to go into YouTube and just record live. So tell me what you think. Write it down in the comments. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you next time.